Hi guys, today's video is going to be a video on how to do basically one card in 3 different ways. So I look at it as how much time you have and how special you want the card to be. So these are invites that I'm making for my babysitter's 1-year-old, and I've made a couple already. So just to show you, she said I could make them as long as they're fall themed. She didn't care. Um, so these are just some of them that I made. And so I wanted to switch it up a little, and so I saw these cute little hedgehogs. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first one is the easiest one. So I just basically made my card base, cut my cardstock. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this paper has, I'm pretty sure it's Basil's paper, but it has a little bit of a texture to it. So it almost looks like a wood grain paper there. And then I stamped the hedgehog. The hedgehog is from Gerda Steiner Designs. It's this little guy here. And I stamped it with Memento. I colored it in with Copics. And then I just cut it out with a My Favorite Things wonky stitch circle die. And then just tied some jute on there. And that is from Recollections. So pretty simple, right? So then I thought, okay, I need to step it up. So on this one, all I did was run it through an embossing folder. And these are the Anna Griffin embossing folders. And this is through HSN. So I'll show you guys those real quick. I don't know if you can see. She calls them letterpress. She doesn't call them embossing folders. They're called letterpress folders. But here's ones that's presents. And this can be used for birthdays or Christmas. Snowflakes. Christmas trees. Bats. And then these are the two I used. Acorns and leaves. So the whole idea of using them is to make obviously this background like a traditional folder, and then I just put some jelly bean soup sequins on there. So we stepped it up a little bit, not bad. So we have 1 and 2. And then this last one is the one that I like the most because we just took it up that little extra notch and inked the embossing folder or letterpress folder, whatever you want to call it. Put some burlap down and just gave it a little oomph. Now, I might even go back in here and take it up another notch and put some glossy accents or Nouveau drops on there. I think I have some Nouveau drops that'll look like some orange Nouveau drops look cute on here. So we're going to make that one today. Again, I already have my card base made up. This is an A2 size card, so we're just going to take an 8.5 sheet of paper, standard paper. We're going to cut it at in the middle there at 5.5, and then it'll be when you fold it, it'll be 5.5 by 4.25. So pretty simple there. And then this is some of that Basil brown paper. So we're gonna bring our embossing machine over. Big kick. Big shot, big kick, whatever you have. Cuttlebug will even work. And we're going to open this to our base tab for embossing. We're going to put our bottom plate in. And we're going to do a little different something here. I have some Distress Oxides here. And I'm going to use some Vintage Photo. And on the raised part of the folder, I'm just going to swipe some ink on there. And this is Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Just going to lightly put that on there. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, that's the whole point of handmade, is if we wanted perfect, we would just go buy it. And because it's Distress Oxide, it'll have that pigment quality, but also it'll stay wet a little longer. We're going to put our... Oh, you know what? I did that backwards. Well, we'll see how it looks. And put our cutting pad on top. So we have our sandwich made up. We'll see how that looks. See, I wanted to ink on this side. That's okay. Oh, that came out pretty neat. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is ink in the recesses there. The other thing you can do is after you've embossed it, so for instance on this one it's already been embossed, you can go direct to paper. Just rub that ink over the top. So it gives it some color and dimension. So here you can see this one is without the ink and this one is with the ink. I don't know if you guys can see that with the lighting, but just a different way of looking at it. So that's doing that. And then all I did was I stamped out this guy in some Nina Solar paper. I colored him in with Copic markers. And then I'm going to take the Wonky Stitches circle die. We want to close our multi-purpose platform to the first setting. And if you think it's going to move, go ahead and put a little bit of post-it tape on there. That's what that is there for, but I have plenty of room. I should be okay here. I'll just run that through. We have our little guy cut out here. And if you want to know what colors I used, Copic Chow E35, TN2, TN7, and GB10 on our little hedgehog. For his scarf, I used Copic Chow's YR16 and YR4. And then for the sign, I just used Y17. So those are the colors for that. And so now we're just going to put it all together. We have our card base. We have our inked background. Use this leaf one. And the background is cut to 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of burlap here. This is Burlap Jute Matte Stacks from Die Cuts with a View. It's 24 sheets. I believe I picked this up at Michael's. You just take a piece and cut it to where you want it. And then I frayed the edges by just pulling off the ends there until it was where I liked it. And the best way to stick this down is either by using Tombow Extreme or by using glue dots. So I have glue dots here. And just put a couple dots of that on there. There we go. And there we go. And I am going to grab some Nuvo drops. Have some Nuvo Crystal Drops Gloss Ripened Pumpkin is the name of this one. Let me put a low practice dot first. Make sure it's not clogged. Which I don't really have a problem with these. They don't really clog like the Ranger ones do. somebody's waking up. All right, so there we go, guys. Miss Leah is very tired and cranky. I don't know if you heard her whining there. But this just gives you an idea on how to take a card and do it in 3 levels, depending on how much time you want to spend in it. Again, you can do a very nice basic card. Just have a base piece, your focal image, and then putting some ribbon or twine or some sequins on it. You can step it up a notch by using some embossing folders and leaving them plain. And the third way is to take those embossing folders and ink them up, and then adding some embellishments on there. So I hope you like this video, guys. If you have any questions, post them below. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping.